Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel for another painting adventure and demonstration at Crail. This is the last of our 3-day adventure around the Fife Coast. We woke up to a perfect day and drove a short 5 miles to Crail, which is a very different harbour from Anstruther, much smaller and intimate. It's a very old harbour set deep at the base of the surrounding cliffs. We couldn't drive down to the harbour, instead we had to park the van at the top of the hill and have a short walk down. Some of the boats are coming out of the water now because we're heading into winter. The tide is low, which I enjoy as it gives a very different colour scheme to the painting. So I'm looking for a composition and something that I can paint within a few hours. And it's very complicated. Everywhere you look is complicated, so it's going to be an interesting choice to take. Or maybe just a little detail. Maybe those boats down there are so nice, so maybe a little detail of that would be good. That's a lovely scene there. And the little boats there. I really like that, so I might do a little tiny picture of that, the front of that white boat from here. That seagull's brought in its fish. Well, we've arrived and set up. My easel's right on the edge of the wall, so I don't want to move left. So Tanya can't do a photograph coming this way, unfortunately. Well, she could try, but she might not enjoy it. The board is a small board, a little 8 by 6 inches, and it's been toned with a bit of leftover oil paint. And the picture I'm doing is of these little boats down on the side here. So I thought that was really interesting. So this is hopefully to be quite a quick picture. An impressionistic picture of that scene. The tide is coming in very quickly, so I want to get on with it as soon as I can because I don't want the boats to go up. I want them to keep looking down on the boats. I don't want them up at the same height as me. So I'll crack on with the little drawing of it now. So just mark it out quickly where I'm going to be painting, just to give me an idea of what's happening. Trying to be accurate, but I know it's never going to be completely accurate the first coat of paint. Okay, just making the first marks, and that's going to be of behind the boats, just to silhouette the white. So trying to capture it's quite a dark background. The water's very, very not blue at all. It's like a blacky colour. Great, so I'm just blocking in the large masses with some turpentine, just to give it a little bit of colour. And you get the reflection later on, this white green. Right, going to start the proper painting now. I'll finish the blocking in of it. So the background has silhouetted the boats, so you can start to see them now. The background isn't finished at all, but now I can see what's going on the boats. So the white is an interesting thing because there's so many different shades of white, so you've got to pick the correct value of white. So you can see it's quite a darkish white, maybe not quite that dark at the base. Maybe a bit of blue in there as well because it's in shadow. One of the interesting things about oil painting, and most painting really, is that until it's done, it looks terrible. It's the last moments of the painting where the painting really comes together. So when people walk past, they look at it and think, I could have done that. But it's the last bits where it comes together, not these early bits. So it's a grey sort of colour. Trying to pick those values correctly. So I'm sure I'll alter that eventually as well to tone it down or just change it a little bit. This is shadows of the electronics on the top of the roof. Okay, so now I put some whiter bits in. Not quite pure white, it's a slightly yellowed off white. Go light that edge up. So that's contrasting nicely against that dark background, the dark water. And then there's a beam of light coming down the side of the boat here. That really picked it up. So I like that. I really like that mark. That's a pretty mark. Okay. So another little highlight right here is going to be interesting. Okay, let's leave this section now. I never really want to work too long on one particular area. So I'm just going to start on the blue boat now, the blue top. So again, just go for the parts that really make a strong statement to begin with. I think you just got to leap into it really, and only when you've made those first marks and have the courage to make them can you start to adjust them. So it's very important just to get in there. And then it goes to a nice green for the deck, keeping out the corner here. A bit lighter, like the sun sort of shafting through on it. And then it will go darker again as it goes in the shade of the cockpit. Nice little green, that. Again, some white side of the boat coming in here. It's the shade, so it's a few knocks down on the value range. Then we've got some white at the edge of the boat, which is very white. Yeah, I finished doing the first bit of the blue boat, and now I'm working towards the back. Remember, always work generally, so don't spend too long in one place. At least that's what I find is a good idea. So then we've got this sort of deck on the back of it, which is quite fun. It's like a slope board. So the boat goes around the side, and then that's the shape of the boat at the back. It's an incredible value study, this one. The most important thing to get right here is the value. They're very subtle. Dark bit of the line of the boat underneath. Goes over to there. And again, then. So now, from now on, I'm going to work everywhere on the picture. I'm just going to put the little mast in. You've just got to work out where it starts and where it stops. It's going to go down there like that. So it gives it a nice little bit of shape there. You've got the one on the side, and then another beam of it comes off here on it. That's quite fun. Maybe put a bit of browny white on it now. That was a blue toned white, brown tone. So many things that come off the aerials and all sorts of gubbins. No idea what they are, but they look impressive. I'm sure they know how to use it. Right, just going to put in a bit of water here, which will really bring the boat out because I'm painting it slightly lighter and contrasting with the reflection of the boat as well. Be a bit more gentle. That's the tide coming in. So before it was mud, so it was just black. And now the water's come in, so we've got a bit of colour there now. Bit of reflection here. Just putting in some of the aerials and the masts, which I think help these pictures a lot. Again, it's the little details at the end where it really comes together. Shame I don't have a little fiddly brush anymore, because that's not in a good shape at the moment. Classic sound of the sea. So now that I've come to sort of everything's filled in quite nicely, and I can start to see where the mistakes are, which you couldn't see to begin with. So I can see that this is a little bit too brown in colour, and maybe slightly lighter now. It should be slightly lighter than it was. And these. So that's what happens when you get further on into a painting. The errors start to appear. So this is the time that you can actually really see them for the first time. Okay, so I'm just going to get my little brush and put in a few of the details of it. Just to describe things a bit better. So this is the time where the detail comes in. This is what's going to finish it off. So this is the top of the pyramid. The final bits. I will put the little number of the boat in as well. 21. So lots of these little detail parts of it are really good, and that's what makes the picture come out. With the fishermen in the background, a lot of colourful language. Almost made me blush. The fishermen are turning up now. Now the tide's coming up. They're all rushing to the boats to get out to work. So I'm just hoping they don't take my two boats away, like they did yesterday. That wouldn't be good. Ready? Just popping in the little red buoy here, and I think it's good because it's otherwise quite a blue painting, so that's going to provide a little bit of contrast with the rest of the painting. Well, there we have it. Nice small painting, done quite roughly. I quite like rough paintwork, and try to keep the paint quite thick as well. So yeah, it's quite pretty. The tide's come up at least a metre or two since I started it. So that's the end of this picture. And yeah, it's a nice subject. Boats are always a good subject, and I enjoy painting boats. So there we have it. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye.